What's up, you guys? Brian here. I went around town today looking for items to sell online. I went to like 3 or 4 different Goodwills, but then there was also another store that I went to that ended up is gonna end up making me a lot of money. So I want to show you guys what that is and kind of get you guys out of your comfort zone when it comes to sourcing for items. I know a lot of people go to Goodwills and well-established thrift stores, or if they do retail arbitrage, they're going to Marshalls or places like that, or big companies to try to find items. And I went to just a mom and pop type thrift store where it wasn't very big. I'll show you here. I got a quick little clip of it. It's a very small room. That isn't the whole thrift store. This is just the clothing section that they had, but it's very small. It didn't have a lot of items. Around the corner there was one more rack of dress shirts that I didn't get in the video, but for the most part it's very small. Not a lot of stuff to look through, but there's a lot of pros when walking into a place like that. Okay, so I'll show you here in a sec. I got a lot of great items. Everything came out to under $2 an item, and the items are very, very good items. Normally items like this, if you were to buy them at, say, Goodwill, they're either going to list them online and you're never going to see them, or they're going to upcharge you, $20-$30, whereas I got it for like $1.70 or something like that. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of upsides. Another thing to note is that there's not a whole lot of inventory, so it doesn't take as long to actually go through everything. When you're at a Goodwill, you're searching through tons of items, whereas this place is so small. I'm in and out super quick, and there's just not a whole lot of stuff to go through, which you would think is, oh, that means there's going to be less good stuff. But because it's way less picked through as a Goodwill, even though there's less stuff, the majority of the stuff is like good vintage items or high quality items that just haven't been picked through yet. So I find that a lot of times with these smaller thrift stores, there's just better items. There's less people going to them, both when it comes to customers and when it comes to resellers going in. So you're able to search through not very much inventory and still find great stuff. Another thing that is great about these types of places is, I'll show you right here. For example, here's a pair of shoes that I got. There's no markings on the bottom for the price. There's no stickers I have to take off. These shoes are ready to be sold. There's no prep work involved. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to wash the shoes off. It would normally say like $9.99 or whatever, and I have to scrub it off. But that work is already done for me. So whereas Goodwill, I would have to do that. So there's a lot of great benefits to going to places like that. Now, Goodwills and all those more well-established thrift stores are great to go to. In fact, I went to a couple of them today and picked up a lot of great items. I had a really good day, actually. I picked up a ton of shirts that I got for $4, and I'm going to be able to sell them all for around $30. Nothing crazy, but I picked up a ton of inventory like that, and that's a pretty good turnaround for clothing, right? But at the smaller thrift store that I went to, all the items I picked up for about $1.80. I'm going to be able to sell a lot of them for $40 to $60 ish. So way better turnaround there, way better profits. I picked up the items for cheaper. I found more profitable items. So keep that in mind. Sometimes the smaller stores, you need to find out where those are, and a lot of times you can get a lot of profit from them. So I'll show you just a few of the things I got that I'm going to be able to resell. Keep in mind, I got everything under $2. Okay. First up is this Ralph Lauren men's blazer. It's like a blue striped seersucker blazer. It's got the tags on them. Got the tag down here, the tag right here, and then it came in this, which has all like the description and everything on it. Again, picked this up for under $2. I haven't looked up comps on what it's going to go for, but new Ralph Lauren blazer should go for a decent amount. These types of items, like, I wouldn't see this at a thrift store. I mean, Google, eBay. What eBay? Oh my gosh, my brain today hurts. Okay, Goodwill would normally list something like this online. They wouldn't even put it in the store, or if they do put it in the store, they're gonna ask like $40 for it, right? Like that's what they do. Whereas this little thrift store, $1.70 or whatever it is. Okay. Here is another one, another Ralph Lauren Nuitags dress. This one actually has what it retails for. The MSRP is $134. So, yeah, again, less than $2. This is pretty light, so it's going to be cheap to ship out. Again, got to look up comps, but I think a general rule of thumb is you'll be able to sell things that are new around 80% of its full value. So, maybe just under that. So we'll see how it goes. I picked up a ton of these Barbour shirts. Is that how you say it? Traditional twill. I don't know. There was like 7 of these. I picked up all of them. Got them for super cheap. I saw a lot of them going for, depending on the type, anywhere from like $30 to $70. The ones with like the corduroy on the inside like this. There's the brand, by the way. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, these ones seemed to go for a little bit more, and I picked up a ton of them. So, yeah, really good find there. And there's a bunch of shirts like this. I'm not going to go through everything I picked up, but there's a lot of shirts like this. A lot of like vintage dress shirts that seem to do well. Just a bunch of different brands. There was a bunch of this brand, but then there was also a ton of other ones that I picked up as well. I'm not going to go over all of them, but there was just a lot of similar shirts like this that go for about a similar amount of money. I also picked up a few sweaters. This one is Malo. It is a cashmere and silk like turtleneck sweater. And yeah, I mean, cashmere sweaters do very well. The brand seemed to do very well. I looked up comps. I don't remember how much. It was maybe like $50-$60, maybe more. I don't know. I gotta look everything up. But yeah, again, only picked it up for less than $2. Here's a LL Bean wool. It's not 100% wool. It's 40% wool, but a wool sweater. Not as crazy as the other finds, but still wool stuff like this for under $2. This would be probably $8 at Goodwill or something like that. So I'm pretty happy to find something like that. It'll be good for, it's red, good Christmas colors. Christmas is going to come up fairly soon, so it'd be nice to list this. And I already showed you these Drew shoes. But I picked up a bunch of shoes like this. I think I picked up 2 or 3 pairs of Drews from there. And then there's a bunch of other ones you could tell was donated by the same person. I picked up a bunch of other brands. This one is Comfort Fin. And yeah, there's just a bunch of good quality brands by the same person that donated it. Just picked up all the shoes he donated pretty much. And they all have like nice soles in them too. Like this one has a nice after sole that's pretty expensive. So that's something you got to keep in mind too when I list it. It's the Protalis M100 sole. I don't know. They're pretty expensive soles, so that's for someone that's looking for something like that may add value. Oh, I also picked up these Florsheim shoes. They look pretty nice. So I'm not going to show you everything. I picked up probably 8 pairs of shoes or something. But just to get you an idea that I picked up all this stuff for under $2. If I were to go to Goodwill's, those Drew shoes, whenever I find them at Goodwill's, they're $10, $15, $20. That's generally how they price them. So yeah, I was able to pick those up for fairly cheap. It was a very good haul. Still did very well with Goodwill's today. I found a ton of stuff. For example, I picked up this at a Goodwill today. I find this brand all the time, Tory Richard. But this one's awesome. I don't know if you can see, but it's like an animal print with like elephants and giraffes. It's a pretty sweet shirt. Usually I sell these for like $30. But this one has like an animal print. I'll list this one for like $40, $45. They sell pretty quickly for me at $30. But this one's just awesome, so I'll list it for more. But I found like, I don't know, I want to say like 20 of these today. Not all Tory Richard, but just of different brands. I think like maybe 6 of them were Tory Richard. But found a ton of these, so I still do good with those other Goodwills. But the turnaround just isn't as crazy as going into that smaller thrift store. So again, I want you guys to think about different places that you could go to. I know when everybody first gets started, everyone thinks of, thrift store, Goodwill. That's just like kind of, or maybe Salvation Army as well. Those are just kind of the thrift stores that people think about, but there's probably a lot in your area. I mean, obviously it depends on how small or big of a town you live in. I know here there's a lot of thrift stores like that. They're just small mom and pop stores, and these places are nice because I mean, I already went through, cheaper prices, less pick through, less time going through the items. You don't have to clean the items as much, but also you can build relationships with the owners there. I know, like when you go to Goodwill, I mean, you can do it with Goodwill too, but they're a little bit iffier on like what they can and can't do because they're working for this big, corporation, and they don't know what they can and can't do necessarily. Depends how new they are or whatever. But with these mom and pop stores, you can build relationships with these, owners and try to provide value for them. And maybe they, you can get, if you have a business card or a number you can give them or whatever, or email, maybe they can let you know when they get a ton of inventory in and they need to get rid of it. So, because they don't have the space for it or whatever. And you can just buy, because when I bought those shoes, the guy told me, he was like, when the guy donated them, he donated 192 pairs of shoes or something like that, some crazy amount of shoes. And if I had a relationship with him before, I could have said, "Hey, I'll buy all the shoes off of you. If you give me a good deal, I can buy all of them." Whether or not they would have done that, I don't know, but I could have given that offer. If I knew him. So I think it's a little bit easier to build relationships with those smaller stores, and they obviously have full control over what they can and can't do. Whereas with Goodwill, you can still build the relationship just as easily, but they have less leeway about what they can and can't do, or at least that's what they think. So keep that in mind. So I really like stores like this. Keep that in mind. I think that's it. All right. Well, I'm going to start listening. Have a good day, guys.